The following is a live presentation of Retro Sports Network, home of the champions of the past, present, and our future. Good morning, afternoon, evening. My name is Ron Juckett. Welcome to the program for this 10th day of July 2024. I hope that tomorrow is the last time that we're affected by the building drilling and all that. They are working on our floor. That starts tomorrow. Hopefully, by Tuesday, we'll be done with that part of the construction process, and we can just start doing the 3 days a week I'm supposed to be doing. So today we have a baseball game for you from August 6th, 1988. The Kansas City Royals, who are in second place in the American League West, face the second place Toronto Blue Jays. In the American League East, the Jays are 4 back of the Red Sox. The Royals, I believe, are 5 back of the Minnesota Twins. It's Mark Gubiza and Dave Stieb, and I got to sneeze. Hold on. Great timing on that. So that's the pitching matchup for you. A dandy. Dave Stieb, a 12-game winner. Mark Gubiza, a 13-game winner. The Royals are 66-42. The Blue Jays are 60-50. And again, we should be pretty consistent now, and I hope to get through the end of the regular season by, we got 6 weeks left, or 8 weeks left. So it would be, I guess, early September. We'll hopefully get the playoffs done before we actually get to the real baseball playoffs. So we'll also be posting a video later tonight to talk about the state of the channel. But for now, it's the Blue Jays and the Royals from rainy Toronto next, as Retro Sports Network presents Major League Replay 1988. Today, from Exhibition Stadium in Toronto, Ontario, it is the Toronto Blue Jays and the Kansas City Royals. And today's game is brought to you by DigitalTheDice.com, the best darn podcast on the web for your sports simulation and replay needs. Find us today on Spotify, Spreaker, iTunes, or wherever else fine podcasts are listed. I've got to turn up my mic volume here. 1 second. Don't forget to join us on Saturday night live for our 5th anniversary special right here on Dave Gardner's channel, and as always, Retro Sports Network. So as we said, it is Mark Gubiza versus Dave Stieb. Gubiza is 15-4 on the year with an earned run average of 2.20, believe it or not. And Dave Stieb is 12-2 with a 2.44 ERA. It is raining here at Exhibition Stadium. We're a year away from the Sky Dome being open, so rain hopefully will not be a factor as far as delaying the game is concerned. Just kind of a misty day here. So, and George Bell with an 11-game hitting streak. So as Dave Stieb takes his warm-up pitches, here is the lineup that the Royals will be setting out for you. Willie Wilson leads off in center field. Kurt Stillwell at short will bat second. Kevin Seitzer at third will bat third. George Brett at first cleans up. Frank White will bat fifth and play second base. Danny Tartable is in right. He'll go sixth. Pat Tabler over from the Indians is the DH today. He'll bat seventh. Bo Jackson in left will go eighth, and Jamie Quirk behind the plate will bat ninth. Dave Stieb is capable of going the distance. He had 8 complete games in real life. Dave is 31 years old, fastball at 90, and a ground ball pitcher. On the year, as we said, a magnificent season. He's 12-2, 7th in wins. His 2.44 ERA is 5th in the American League. His 124 strikeouts get you 10th. He's 31. I think we did all that. His last appearance was August 1st, so 5 days ago, in a 2-1 loss to the Twins. He went the distance but did not get a decision. He didn't go the distance because 9 innings and no decision tells me that he did not. Never mind. 117 pitches. He only allowed 3 hits, a solo homer. He walked 2 and struck out 7. So on the replay, 162 innings, 100 hits, 48 runs, 44 earned, 13 homers, 53 walks, and 124 strikeouts. Around Steve, George Bell a 4 and a 4 in left. Rob Ducey is a 3 and a 4 in center. Jesse Barfield a 7 and a 9 in right. Kelly Gruber is an 8 at third. Tony Fernandez a 10 at short. Manuel Lee a 7 at second. Fred McGriff is a 6 at first. And Ernie Witt behind the plate a 5 and a 4. Steve not a bad fielder. He's a 7 with a 1,000 fielding percentage. 2 second-place teams. Possible playoff matchup. Willie Wilson steps in the light rain, hitting .265, 5 triples, and 27 RBI. 74 degrees here in Toronto on this Saturday afternoon, August 6th. The wind is left to right towards the right goalpost for the Argos at 8 miles an hour. And with all that, Steve is ready, and here we go. Popped up left side. Fernandez dodges the drops and will make the catch, and that's how this one starts. Brings up Kurt Stillwell at short, hitting .248, 4 homers, and 37 RBI. And he walked him. So Stillwell tosses the bat towards the dugout. A full count fastball was up and in. And that'll bring up Kevin Seitzer, hitting .323, 5 homers, and 47 RBI. Zalapsky Smurf, speaking of Toronto. Surprised this is being played in the post-hurricane conditions here in Ontario. Yeah, we are supposed to get between 2 and 3 inches of rain today. Actually, it's raining in the game, but no high winds or anything. There goes Stillwell. The throw down to Lee, and Kurt is out. They got through him out. So Witt threw a strike down to second, and there's 2 out and a 1-ball count to Seitzer. Ground ball to Lee. Manny's got it over to first, and that will take care of the Royals. No runs, no hits. Runner thrown out trying to steal. Half an inning in the books, no score. So Mark Gubicza is having a Cy Young year. He is 15 and 4 with a 2.20 ERA. He is making his 24th start, and he already has 13 complete games. He's 26 and is pronounced Gubicza. Fastball at 89 and a ground ball pitcher. Yeah, it's supposed to pour here mid-afternoon, so glad you're doing all right. It's just all the tears from not beating Messi last night in Argentina, right? By the way, congrats to Team Canada for making the semis at Copa America. Gubicza last pitched August 1st against the Tigers and beat them. Did not get credit for the shutout. He shut them out the start before. He threw 156 pitches over 8 innings, 10 hits. He walked 2 and struck out 8. In fact, on the year, he has 3 shutouts. The Yankees on May 5th, the Red Sox on July 16th, and the Tigers on July 27th. That's pretty good. Gubicza, 192 and 2/3, 167 hits, 56 runs, 47 earned. He's allowed 5 homers. He's walked 56 and struck out 129. His .220 ERA leads the American League. His 15 wins are second, and he is 8th in strikeouts. The lineup he will face: Tony Fernandez leads off at short. Ernie Witt will bat second behind the plate. Rance Mullenix, the DH, will go third. George Bell cleans up in left. Fred McGriff is at first. He'll bat fifth. Kelly Gruber at third, going sixth. Jesse Barfield in right will bat seventh. Rob Ducey in center field will go eighth. And Manuel Lee at second will bat ninth. And Gubaza has a rubber arm. Yeah, good run for Team Canada. Huge difference between a top 5 and a top 50 team. Seems like old times, John. How are you? Bo Jackson a 5 and an 8 in left as we set the Kansas City defense. Willie Wilson a 7 and a 6 in center. Danny Tarnable a 3 and an 8 in right. Kevin Seitzer in his orchestra a 6 at third. Kurt Stillwell a 4 at short. Frank White a 7 at second. George Brett a 5 at first. Jamie Quirk behind the plate a 7 and a 5. And Gubaza is a 7 on the mound with a .986 fielding percentage. Fernandez at .281, 5 homers, and 43 RBI. This is game 109 for Kansas City and 111 for Toronto. And Gubaza starts out his afternoon with a ground ball right back to him, throws to first for the out. Seems like old times. That was a good film. Alan Alda, right? Ernie Witt at .245, 15 homers, and 49 RBI. John, we're supposed to get heavy rains most of the afternoon and evening. In fact, that was Madam Speaker telling me that we're under a tornado watch. Alexa, what's my notification?
Good afternoon, Ron. 3 new notifications. From Amazon, U.S. National Weather Service has issued a tornado watch for South Burlington. It'll be in effect until July 10th, 9 p.m. EDT. From Amazon, U.S. National Weather Service has issued a tornado watch for Burlington. It'll be in effect until July 10th, 9 p.m. EDT. For Ron from your follow updates. MLB highlights. Red Sox defeat Athletics 12-9. Do you want to hear more about this?
No, thank you. So I don't know if you heard her or not, but we're under a tornado watch till 9 o'clock tonight. Same time next year as Alan Aldous. And seems like old times. Chevy Chase, Goldie Hawn, who were best of friends. I'm glad that he got along with somebody. And Charles Grodin, who I think most people under the age of 50 would remember hosting a talk show on CNBC. Anyway, 1 out. Ernie Whitman standing in the rain. Come on, Ron. Struck him out. Gubaza got him on an 0-2 curve. So 2 out for Mullenix. Rance at .286, 10 homers, and 47 RBI. Gubaza deals. That's going to be a base hit in the right center. Willie Wilson will cut it off. And it makes it, can't really hold on to it. He tried to throw it, but you got to have it in your hand, and Mullenix will take the extra base on the error by Willie Wilson. So 2 out, runner on second for George Bell, hitting .273, 11 homers, and 79 RBI. Two of those, Chase, Hott, and Grodin, worst host of all time. Yeah, did Goldie ever host? Chase just didn't get along with anybody, and Grodin is a curmudgeon. Pitch to Bell. There's a fly ball, left center field. Willie Wilson goes back, makes up for the error, makes the catch, and that'll do. So no runs, a hit, and 1 error, and after 1, no score. So Brett, White, and Tartable to face Steve here in the second. George at .342, 18 homers, and 92 RBI. Don't forget, Saturday night on Dave Gardner's channel, live and in stereo, the 5th anniversary special for Digital Dice. Pitch to Brett. Fly ball, right field. Barfield coming in will make the catch, and there's 1 out. Frank White hitting .296, one of the big reasons why the Royals are so good. He's hit 7 homers and driven in 65. Struck him out. The first for Steve, a 2-2 changeup, swung on and missed. So 2 out. Yeah, Grodin is just a grump, or was just a grump. Steven Seagal was the worst host in SNL history, according to this video, although you could make the argument. Tartable, by the way, at 262, 20 homers, and 75 RBI. That Milton Berle was just an absolute bear, and in fact, Lorne Michaels wouldn't let NBC rerun that show. Pitch to Tartable. Line drive foul, third base side, and somebody from Oshawa made that catch. And the count is 0-2. Midnight Run, I'm being told, is Grodin's best movie. In Midnight Run, many of Robert De Niro's reactions were quite genuine, I'm being told, because Grodin stayed in character during the entire shoot. Imagine a Ron stream that talks movies. Pitch to Tartable. Struck him out. Steve got him on an 0-2 fastball swinging, and that'll do it. So the Royals go in order. No runs, no hits, no errors. We go to the bottom of the second, no score. So McGriff, Gruber, and Barfield to face Gubaza here in the second. McGriff at 287, 20 homers, and 62 RBI. Milton was 3, okay? And Justin Bieber was number 2. Really? Justin Bieber got thrown out of our mall here. He played the fair one year and got busted in the mall for driving up and down with a Segway. Pitch to McGriff. Base hit right field. Tartable will pick it up. Fred rounds first and will hold. And Frank White at 38 couldn't quite get there. So runner on first for Kelly Gruber, hitting .332, 10 homers, and 54 RBI. It's pretty muggy, Andrew. It's pretty muggy. It's a break. We're about to get deluge with rain. Pitch to Gruber. Kelly hits a ground ball to first. Brett's got it. McGriff will go to second. George takes it to the bag for the out. So 1 out for Barfield, hitting .244, 10 homers, and 34 RBI. I suppose if you happened to be with Selena Gomez and maybe got a couple drinks into her, I'm sure she'd have some Bieber stories for you. Pitch to Barfield. Jesse swings into left field. Back goes Bo, and Bo will make the catch. McGriff goes back to tag and is not going to chance it. So 2 out for Rob Ducey, who is 3 for 6 on the real year. One of the top prospects in the Jays organization, hit .315 with 6 RBI. How you doing, Scotty? And Big Dave. Stormy Roch. Yep, we are now under a tornado watch, Dave, until 10. The rain hasn't hit here. Alexa, what time is it supposed to rain?
Heavy rain is likely, starting at 5 p.m., continuing throughout the day. You can expect about 0.71 inches. Also, there's a tornado watch for that area until Wednesday, July 10th, 9 p.m.
Gus, you and I are in the same forecast office in Burlington, but yeah, it should be an interesting afternoon. Pitch to Ducey, slow ground ball to third. Seitzer won't get there in time. It's a late throw, and Rob will beat it out. So runners on the corners and 2 out, as Seitzer just took a little too long to make that play. And here's Manuel Lee hitting .283, 2 homers, and 24 RBI. The rain started in the Rochester area at about 20 minutes ago. So I think Gus is in Saranac Lake, where you had a frost a couple weeks ago. Goodness gracious. Pitch to Lee. Runners on the corners. Base hit left center field. McGriff will score the first run of the ball game. Ducey has decent speed. He's going to third, and the throw is cut off. So 1-0 Toronto on their 4th hit of the game. And so the opening 9 for Gubiza, 33 pitches, an inning and 2/3, 4 hits, and a strikeout. The run is earned, I believe. Yep. And Tony Fernandez is 0 for 1. So Lee and Ducey on the bases. Slow bouncer to White, who made the bobble over to Brett, and that will retire the side. The Jays get a run on 3 hits and no errors. And we go to the 3rd here. Toronto 1, Kansas City nothing. Scotty's with the Goats. And it's cool. I saw you said you had 100 degrees. I'm telling you, it's not been a fun summer. Pat Tabler hitting .381, 2 homers and 28 RBI. Tabler, Bow, and Quirk to face Steve here in the 3rd. Slow ground ball to McGriff. Fred's there for the out. 1 away. Rob Ducey was from Toronto. Oh. So a hometown boy. Here's Bow at .235. 14 homers and 37 RBI. He has struck out 94 times for Kansas City. Steve rocks and fires. Fly ball, left field. That's well struck. Back goes Bell. Tie game. Bo knows Toronto. And so that goes over the wall, and it's a 1-1 game. So for Bo, his 15th of the year. Bell made the leap and could not get it. So that's gone. And Steve cannot get the close down inning. And DRP says, I remember when Goat was a bad tag to have. Not if you're an actual goat. Jamie Quirk at .224. 3 homers and 7 RBI. So that's the first hit for the Royals. And it's a 1-1 game here in the 3rd. Quirk draws the walk. So Steve, his second walk, a 3-1 was low. Still raining. Opening 9 for Steve, 40 pitches, 2 1/3. The 1 hit, the solo shot from Bo. He's walked 2 and struck out 2. Willie Wilson is 0 for 1. That would be cool if Mr. Scotty's farm, it's not his farm, but he's goat sitting, had Brady, Jordan, Messi running around on it. That'd be cool. Right back up the box. Steve goes to Lee for 1. Wilson's going to reach as there is no throw to first, 2 out. Kurt Stillwell walked his first time up. Although I would think that in Mr. Howard's case, it would be Griffey, Lynch, downtown Freddie Brown, and Keith Jackson. All Seattle heroes. Pitch to Stillwell. There's a liner up the middle past Lee for a single. Wilson will go to 3rd. Ducey tosses it back in the infield. And it's runners on the corners and 2 out for Seitzer, who's 0 for 1. This is the last full year Gus that they played at exhibition. Skydome opened in the summer of '89, so they started here and then moved inside. Pitch to Seitzer, popped up right center. Ducey has it lined up, and that'll do it. The Royals, however, get the solo homer from Bo Jackson and 2 hits, and after 2.5, it's 1-1. So Witt, Mullenix, and Bell to face Gubiza here in the 3rd. Ernie struck out, Mark's only K of the game, his first time up in the 1st. Got him. Again, a 1-2 changeup. Witt checked it, but did not check it in time. So here's Rance Mullenix. He singled his first time up. Fly ball, left field, opposite way. In comes Bo, and there's 2 out. for George Bell, who's 0 for 1. So, on this rainy day in Toronto, Gubicza kicks and fires, and there's a ground ball to Stillwell over to Brett, and that will take care of business for the Jays in the third. They go in order, and after 3 here in Toronto, it's the Jays 1, the Royals 1. So Brett, White, and Tartable to face Steve here in the fourth. George is 0 for 1. Yep, this would be a Costas-Kubek game for sure. Scotty says we're just across the river from Portland, so maybe add Big Red on that list. There you go. Pitch to Brett. Fly ball, right center field. Back goes Barfield. Makes the catch against the wall. 1 out for Frank White, who struck out his first time up. Yeah, Kubek, for those of you that aren't from the Toronto area, may not have known that during his time on Game of the Week after 77 that he did color for the Blue Jays on CTV. And so he was quite familiar with the Blue Jays. Pitch to White. There's a ground ball to Steve, first base side of the rubber, throws to first, and White is retired. 2 out for Tartable, who struck out his first time up. Yep, he was excellent. He's in the Hall, too, right? Didn't he win the Frick? Pitch to Tartable. Struck him out. Steve got him on a 1-2 fastball looking. So no runs, no hits, no errors. Bottom of the fourth here in Toronto, 1-1. So here are the standings. The Jays start this Saturday 4 back of the Red Sox, who, if you weren't with us Sunday night, although we didn't do it, it was quick sim. They swept the Tigers in the doubleheader. Milwaukee is 6 back. The Yankees and Tigers are 7 back. The Yankees got swept by Minnesota. In the West, the Twins by 5 over Kansas City. And the Twins are by far the best team in baseball. They actually have a 4-game lead over the Mets for that honor. The Royals are 5 back. The A's aren't having a bad year. They're just... It's going to take a miracle and a half to get 10 back. In the National League, get your playoff tickets at Shea for the middle weekend of the NLCS. They're 11 up on Pittsburgh. And in the West, the Dodgers a game and a half over Cincinnati. Now, the Blue Jays, third best hit average in the American League. Kansas City has the second best ERA, and Toronto has the best defense. McGriff singled and scored in the second. Struck him out. Gubicza got him to chase a full count changeup. 1 out for Gruber. Kelly's 0 for 1. Scotty wish casting that game and a half lead for the Dodgers is the same as the Mets' 11-game lead over the Pirates. Pitch to Kelly. Laced into right field for a base hit. So Tartable will grab that. 1-1 here, bottom of the fourth. Royals and Jays from Toronto on a Bob and Tony special for sure. 5th hit for Toronto. Barfield's 0 for 1. That's laced foul, and someone from Hamilton made that catch. We keep getting complaints, speaking of Scotty, from San Francisco Giant fans who take exception to him thinking that the Giants are not a major league team. The 0-2 to Barwell, they're going to throw over to first, and Gruber's back. So we'll go. Quirk will throw down to White. Gruber that goes into center field. How about that? So Gruber will go to third on the air and now has his 18th steal of the year. So Quirk threw it away, and Gruber took the extra base. So the 1-2 to Barfield coming up. Into left field, and a well hit. Back goes Bo, and that is gone. For Barfield, his 11th of the year, and the Blue Jays go up 3-1. Just chase that one down the line, and all Bo could do was turn and watch it go. Gruber knew the second that was hit that was gone. So in hindsight, actually no, because the stolen base in the air just took Gubas' concentration off enough to throw a meatball to Barfield, and Jesse made him pay. So 3-1 to score. Here's Ducey, who singled his first time up. And Scotty says there's nothing he likes more than an unhappy Giants fan. Pitch to Ducey. Ball 4. So Gubas has lost the script here in the fourth. 3-1 changeup was too high, and that'll bring up Lee. Manuel or Manny singled his first time and drove home a run. That came in the second. Ground ball right side, base hit. So Gubas, who came into this game as Ducey, will hold at second. With an eye-dropping 2.20 ERA, that's gone up a tenth of a run. It's now at 2.30. 18 batters for Gubas, 81 pitches, 3 1/3 innings, 7 hits, the home run from Barfield a moment ago, a walk, and 3 strikeouts. Fernandez is 0 for 2. What am I doing next year? Thank you, DRP. I think we're going to do a 50 season. I've done a 40 season. The wheelhouse is 78 through 93. I've done 49. I did 2001 last year. 85 was great. And so a 50 season is what I'm tossing around. Ducey on second. Lee on first. That's down the line. Bo's going to have to chase after it. Ducey's going to score with ease. Lee is probably going to score on that. Bo has it. Lee will hold. They're not going to run on Bo. And it's 4-1 Toronto on Fernandez's 24th double of the year. So the skies have opened up on the Kansas City Royals. Here's Ernie Witt. Gubas has fanned him twice. Popped up center field. That should score Lee. Wilson has to retreat. Will make the catch. Lee scores without a throw. And there's 2 out for Mullenix, who is 1 for 2. We're also doing a hockey tournament. I expect that to be back next Monday night. Game 3 between the Leafs and the Chicago Blackhawks from 1955. The winner from the Loblaw Center at Maple Leaf Gardens will face the Montreal Canadiens in the semis. Mullenix is 1 for 2. He is singled. That's past White. Yes. For a single, Fernandez rounds third. Wilson up with the throw. Where is it going? It will go into the infield, and the Jays have a 5 spot here on the board in the fourth. So 6-1 to score. Yeah, 57's a good year. So here's George Bell. He's 0 for 2. 57 is what I was one of the ones I was thinking of. Milwaukee and Brooklyn. The last year the Giants and Dodgers are in New York. George Bell, by the way, an 11-game hitting streak. Gets away from Quirk, and Mullenix moves up 90. So a wild pitch, and Gubas His earned run average is almost up a quarter of a run today. Pitch to Bell. Up the middle. White has it behind the bag. Over to Brett. And that will retire the side. However, the Blue Jays get 5 on 5 hits and an error. And after 4, it's Toronto 6, Kansas City 1. So Tabler, Jackson, and Quirk to face Stieb, who is 3 outs away from being eligible for win number 13. Tabler is 0 for 1. Zalewski Smith doing a 51 playoff. 51's a good year. I was also thinking 54. Hard to believe. Pitch to Tabler. That's not hard to believe. Popped up left side. Gruber, and he will run out of real estate. And somebody from St. Catharines made that catch. That in all the years that Casey Stengel managed the Yankees, as Tabler has a 2-2 coming to him, the only time they won 100 games was in 54. And that, outside of 59, was the only time the Yankees didn't win the American League. Pitch to Tabler. Ball 4, so Steve lost him. The full count fastball was low and outside. Here's Bo. Bo homered in the third. Now it's 15 on the year. And it's driven in 38. 31 is a fun season. Huh. Oh, those Philadelphia A's. Double X. Cobb's retired at that point, right? Mickey Cochran. Al Simmons. Pitch to Bo. Struck him out. That's 4 for Steve. A 1-2 fastball got him. And there's 1 out for Quirk, who walked his first time up. I have Lenny and Squeaky throw out the first pitch. You know, David Lander, who is Squiggy, who passed away from ALS a few years ago, was such a baseball fan. He actually was a scout for the Pirates. Quirk up the middle, past Lee for a base hit. So Ducey will grab it off the wet turf and throw it back in. So 1 out, runners on first and second for Willie Wilson. Steve, 18 batters, 82 pitches. Not a pitching day for anybody. 4 1/3, 3 hits, the homer for Bo, 3 walks and 4 strikeouts. The A's definitely were loaded that year. Oh, it was a Mariners scout, Dave Lander. So talk about taking your fandom and knowledge to a new level. Pitch to Wilson, runners on first and second. Got him! He chased a changeup. Steve had him thinking fastball, and he took something off it. 2 out for Stillwell, who has walked and singled. He's 1 for 1. Popped up right side, a rainmaker on this wet day. Lee is there, and that'll bring us to the break. On what should be a rainy afternoon in Burlington, halfway home, no runs, a hit, no errors. It's the Jays 6, the Royals 1. If you joined us late, here's how we got here. The Jays and Royals, 2 good second-place teams in the American League. Jays up 6-1. Manny Lee got the scoring started with an RBI single in the second to score Fred McGriff. Then in the third, there went Bo, a bomb down the line and left, his 15th of the year to make it 1-1. And on this rainy afternoon in Toronto, the Jays made it run with 5 runs in the fourth. Jesse Barfield, a 2-run homer to make it 3-1. Tony Fernandez doubled home Rob Ducey to make it 4-1. Ernie Witt, a sac fly to make it 5-1. And Rance Mullenix, an RBI single to make it 6-1. Guba's up 4 innings, 9 hits. All 6 runs are earned. Dave Steve, a 3-hitter through 5. That pitch count is high, and the lone run, the Bo homer. I'm being told that he was also a scout with the Angels. And he's also the PA announcer in a league of their own. I'd hold out for Pinky Tuscadero for that first pitch if I were you. Fats Domino. I found my thrill. Pitch to McGriff was 1 for 2. Ground ball to first. Brett takes it to Blueberry Hill for the first out. I wonder if that'll get a content match. Here's Kelly Gruber. 1 for 2. He has scored and stole his 18th base. Dave's been waiting on Twitch for 35 minutes. Pickle Rick was that good today, huh? Pitch to Gruber. There's a ground ball to third. Seitzer over to Brett. For the out. 2 away. So Gruber's finally getting an easy inning. Jesse Barfield homered in the 4th and now has 11 on the year and has driven in 36. Slow chopper to Stillwell over to Brett. And that will retire the side. So the Jays go in order for the first time in a while. And after 5, it's Toronto 6, Kansas City 1. So Seitzer, Brett, and White to face Steve here in the 6th. Kevin is 0 for 2. In the left center, back goes Ducey, and Rob will make the catch. 1 out. George Brett is 0 for 2. I can honestly say about Exhibition Stadium, at least from the Blue Jays' point of view, is that when it closed, I'm not sure anyone really missed it. Pitch to Brett. Fly ball, right field. Barfield will come in and make the catch. 2 out. Of course, the thing with Skydome was it looked like them all. I mean, the only thing missing was an Orange Julius behind home plate and maybe a place to go roller skating. White is 0 for 2. He has struck out. I don't think you're kidding about that, right? Dave was watching a girl in a kiddie pool reviewing golf ball cleaning machines. With the risk of getting demonetized, did it suck? Pitch to White. Fly ball, left field. Back goes Bell, and that ball is gone. So Frank White homers, and it's 6-2 now. That's his 8th of the year. He hit 8 in real life. And there wasn't, Bell thought he was going to have room, but it's about 5 rows deep. She got them so clean, I bet she did. My dad tells the story of Arnold Palmer one night being on Johnny Carson. Danny Tartabull has struck out twice. He's 0 for 2. That allegedly, she says, well, I kiss his balls before a tournament to bring him good luck. And Carson, who could pretty much get away with anything, said, I bet that makes his little putter stand right up. Pitch to Tartabull. There's a ground ball to third. Gruber over to McGriff for the out. I would be hard-pressed to think that NBC let that go. But my dad swore by that story. However, the home run by White puts the Royals a run closer. 1 run, 1 hit, and no errors. And to the bottom of the 6th, Toronto 6, Kansas City 2. Dave was twitching. Yes. It'll be Ducey, Lee, and Fernandez to face Gubicza here in the 6th. Rob singled, scored, and walked. There's a line drive to left. Bo will throw that in. Ducey's digging for 2. And Rob will slide in there for his major league first double. So a good, healthy crowd clap there as Ducey slides into second. Here's Manuel Lee. He has singled twice, scored and driven in a run. That's the 10th hit for the Jays. Zalapsky Smurf says he saw the Rolling Stones at Exhibition Stadium a few months after the Jays left. Yeah, it looked dilapidated fast. Remember back when the Indy cars would run the Molson up there, and like, oh, that's the old Exhibition Stadium. Now, the Argos are back there, and so are FC Toronto. It's now an MLS stadium. It's rebuilt. Pitch to Lee. Gets away from Quirk, and Ducey moves up to third. So another run 90 feet away, and a 2-0 count to Lee. Popped up right center field. That should score Ducey. Wilson will pick it up. Ducey goes back to tag. Will go home to throw to Quirk. Just in time. Not in time. That was close. Don't read the text. It was close. So 1 out, and the Jays are up 7-2. So Gubaza, 27 batters that he'd like to forget. 113 pitches, 5 1/3, 10 hits, the home run to Barfield, a walk, and 3 strikeouts. Fernandez is 1 for 3, a double, a run scored, and an RBI. Base hit right field. Tartable will pick it up. So the Jays have Gubaza's number. Here's Ernie Witt. He has struck out twice and a sac fly. Slow chopper to Brett. He'll go to Stillwell for 1 at second. Back to Brett for 2, and Witt is retired. So a 3-6-3 double play. The Jays get a run on 2 hits. We head to the 7th here in Toronto. It's the Jays 7, the Royals 2. So Tabler, Jackson, and Quirk to face Steve. And Pat is 0 for 1 with a walk. Did I ever hear the story of Johnny and Raquel Welch? No. There's a ground ball to third. Gruber over to McGriff. Tabler's running, but he'll be retired on the bang-banger, 1 out. So here's Bo. Bo has a homer and a strikeout. To third, Gruber's got it. Throws to McGriff across the way, and there are 2 outs here in the 7th. For Jamie Quirk, who has a single and a walk, he's 0 for 1. Fly ball, right field. Back goes Barfield. That should stay in the yard. It does. Not. That hit the wall. And Quirk is going to hold with a single. I'm not sure what Barfield was thinking. I think he just got a late jump on it. Quirk wasn't sure, and so he kind of tripped as he rounded first. And so 2 out for Willie Wilson, who's 0 for 3 with a K. Steve, 27 batters, 118 pitches, 6 2/3, 5 hits. Light and Jackson have taken him deep for solo shots. He has walked 3 and struck out 5. Got him. Stretch time, 7-2 Jays. So that should do it for Steve. Rance Mulliniks is 2 for 3 as he steps in. Gubiza can go a little bit longer, although he has not pitched well. Rance has singled twice and driven in a run. And he draws the walk, so the Jays have the leadoff runner on here in the 7th. George Bell, despite having the Blue Jays having 11 hits, is one of the 2 Jay hitters to not have a hit. In fact, I don't think he's reached. Nope, he's flown out and grounded out twice. Mulliniks on first, ground ball to Stillwell. White for 1. Frank pivots, throws to Brett, and that is a 6-4-3 double play. And with the 5-run lead and 2 out in the 7th, I believe Mr. Bell's streak is done, unless the Jays get busy here in a hurry. McGriff is 1 for 3. Fred has singled, scored, and struck out. Nobody on. Ground ball to White. He'll throw to first, and that will retire the side. After 7, no runs, no hits, no errors. We wait to hear the story about Johnny and Raquel Welch. It's Toronto 7, Kansas City 2. So Steve's day is done. Switchy righty-lefty. And so we'll bring in John Cerruti. Cerruti making his 25th appearance. He's all out of the pen now the rest of the way. 28 years old, fastball at 87, and a standard pitcher. 4 and 5 with a 3.69 ERA. He last worked on the 1st, so he's on 5 days rest. He faced 2 batters in a loss to the Twins. Allowed a hit. Overall for John, 90 in the 3rd innings, 98 hits, 42 runs, 37 of those earned, 10 homers. I got to sneeze here. 29 walks. And 38 strikeouts, as I am allergic to myself. So Stillwell, Seitzer, and Brett here in the 8th. 7 runs, 11 hits, no errors for the Jays. They've left on 4. The Royals, 2 runs, 5 hits, 2 errors, and they have left on 5. Stillwell 1 for 2 with a walk and a single. And Billy Buckner is going to pinch hit. So Buckner, as a pinch hitter, hitting .286. He's over from the Angels, hitting .251, no homers, and 16 RBI. Nobody on, and they go with the left-handed hitter to face a left-handed pitcher. That worked, however. That's into right. Buckner digging for 2. Barfield with a good throw, and Billy Buck has his 11th double of the year. So just the 6th hit for the Royals. Here's Seitzer. He's 0 for 3. Did the story get blocked? Yeah, I never saw it. Seitzer up the middle for a base hit. Buckner will, what's he going to do? Ducey is in shallow. He'll throw it in. Buckner scores, and it's 7-3. George Brett is 0 for 3. So the Royals chipping away here in the 8th. Brett laces this one right to McGriff. How about that? And Seitzer has to scamper back. So 1 out. Here's Frank White. He homered his last time up. His 8th of the year. He's 1 for 3. He's also struck out. Ground ball to Lee. They might get 2. Fernandez for 1. White will reach. And there's no throw. So 2 out. Frank White on first. For Danny Tarnable, who is 0 for 3. He has struck out twice. into right center. Back goes Ducey, and Rob will make the catch. So Gubaza comes out to pitch the eighth. Kansas City gets one back on 2 hits and no errors. And after 7.5, it's Toronto 7, Kansas City 3. So Gruber, Barfield, and Ducey. Oh, you know what? I've heard that story. Talked about Jane Fonda passed that on one night about Zsa Zsa Gabor. And so the story goes that one of either Zsa Zsa or Raquel Welch comes out with a cat on her lap. And would you like to pet the pussy? And you can kind of know where Johnny was going with that. And so Welch was incensed and walked off the stage. But when I saw Jane Fonda tell that on one of the anniversary shows, yeah, Johnny just looked embarrassed. Kelly Gruber's 1 for 3. The following program is rated TVPG. Pitch to Gruber. In the right, Tartable will make the catch, 1 out. Barfield homered in the 4th. He's 1 for 3. Scotty heard some stories about Jim Brown and Raquel during the filming of 100 Rifles. Barfield draws the walk, so Gubaza really now should be about done. 4 straight out of the zone for Rob Ducey, who doubled his last time up. He's 2 for 2. He has singled, doubled, walked, and scored twice his first 2 runs. Might be 2. Wellman is the new shortstop, by the way. White for 1, Brett for 2. And so it's 6-4-3. Wellman, I don't think we'll see him bat. He is in the 2-hole. He's a 5 there. We go to the 9th. Cerruti trying to lock this one down. The Royals need 4 to tie and 5 to go ahead. So Tabler, Bow, and Quirk to face Cerruti. Tabler 0 for 2 with a walk. Bell in the corner, and will run out of real estate. And someone from Mississauga made that catch. 1-2 the count. Line drive right field. Barfield will pick it up off a hop. That's the 8th hit for the Royals. Here's Bow. Bow has homered. He's 1 for 3, and he has struck out. Got him. So 1 out. Cerruti got him to look at a 2-2 curve in there at the knees. And that'll bring up Jamie Quirk, who has singled twice and walked. Cerruti, well, he'll have to wait as Bill Pacoda comes in. Pacoda, a good bunter, not a good pinch hitter. 0-42 with an RBI. Overall, 108 with a triple and 4 RBI. Bunt won't really do you any good now. 1 out. You need 4 runs. Gets away from Witt, and Tabler moves up to second. So on the wild pitch, it's a 2-1 count. Now that bunt would move a runner over to third. Struck him out. So Rudy got him to chase a 2-2 fastball. So as Willie Wilson steps in, last chance saloon for the Royals. With 2 out here in the 9th. Willie Wilson has struck out twice. He's 0 for 4. Cerruti deals, and that's a ground ball to McGriff. He'll take it to the bag, and the Blue Jays win it 7-3. So 3 hours and 11 minutes in the rain in Toronto, who go to 61-50, 7 runs, 11 hits, no errors, and they leave on 4. The Royals, 3 runs, 8 hits, 2 errors, and they left on 7. Jesse Barfield is who the computer picks to be your Digital Dice MVP. 1 for 3 with a homer. We're going to go with Dave Steeb. 7 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs. The solo homers from Jackson and White. He walked 3 and struck out 6 with minus stuff, but goes to 13-2. Mark Gubiza falls to 15-5, 8 innings, 11 hits, 7 runs, goes the distance. A homer. He walked 3 and struck out 3. So for the moment, the Jays get to 3.5 on Boston, and Minnesota's lead goes to 5.5. There's no truth to the rumor that I and Taylor Swift had a thing during a filming of one of her videos. The rest of this Saturday in baseball, the Tigers beat the Red Sox in 2-1. Willie Hernandez 2-0. John Troutween goes to 1-1. Pat Sheridan 2 for 4, his 12th of the year. Philly beats Chicago at Wrigley 11-9. Steve Bedrosian 2-4. Frank DiPino 5-3. Mark Grace 3 for 3 with a double. St. Louis beats Montreal 7-5. Terry Pendleton with 2 homers. He was 3 for 4 and drives in 5. Dan Quisenberry, goodness gracious, gets the win. Tim Burke takes a loss, 2-3. Trying to think of where Joe and Tony would be. Maybe Philly, Chicago. Seattle beats Oakland 3-2 in 10. Mike Jackson 3-6. Eric Plunk goes to 2-3, and Schooler picks up his 8th save. Atlanta shuts out San Francisco. My goodness. 3-0. Pete Smith 7-9. Adley Hammaker 5-3. Ron Gant hits his 10th. He goes 2 for 3. The Expos and that loss in St. Louis commit 4 errors. The Padres beat the Reds 6-1. Rasmussen 6-1. Jose Rio falls to 9-3. Tony Gwynn 3 for 4. 2 RBI and a double. Pirates beat the Mets. That's a night game, or else that would have been the NBC or Joe and Vin and Joe game. Doug Drabeck goes to 11-4. Dwight Gooden falls to 16-6, and Jim Gott picks up his 29th save. The Twins, 22 runs on 17 hits, and they just disembowel the Yankees 22-4. Smith gets his first win. Tommy John needed surgery and a couple drinks after that one. He falls to 8-7. Kirby, 3 for 3, 2 homers, and drives in 4. Baltimore beats Milwaukee 4-3. Don Osse 3-1. Chuck Krim falls to 4-6. Tom Niedenfuer picks up his 10th save. The Astros in 10 beat the Dodgers 7-6. Juan Augusto 2-5. Brian Holton 4-5. Mike Marshall 2 homers and 5 RBI in the loss. Texas over Cleveland 4-2. Charlie Huff 10-10. John Farrell falls to 9-10. Corey Snyder 2 for 4, his 19th of the year. And California beat Chicago 7-5. Clark 1-2. Molino Perez falls to 7-12. Devon White hits a 6th. He goes 4 for 5. So the Twin lead is now 6. The Red Sox lead is 3. The Pirates deficit is 10. And the Dodgers and Reds remain no change. Stay cool and dry. Thank you so much for watching. Our next stream will be TBA, but it will be the first night game at Wrigley Field ever. It'll be the Mets and the Cubs, and that'll be sometime next week. Regularly scheduled games for next week. The Dodgers and the Reds. I wonder if anyone would have an interest in that. Toronto and Kansas City, the return trip. And then Detroit and Boston. So 4 scheduled games for the week of the 13th. So thank you so much for watching. We will talk to you the next time. So long, everybody.